Good afternoon, guys. Let's start our today's class. And in this class, we're gonna learn about modules. So, some modules we will learn about math module, statistics module, random module, and calendar module. Okay. So let's have a look on these all modules. So here, first we will talk about our math module, right? Actually, what is module? First, let us know about that. What is module, and then we will go towards these particular modules, right? So here in math module, so whatever module you want to use to access the methods and functions of a built-in function. So what will you do? You will simply write import and your module name to use the methods and function of that particular module. So first you have to import that module, and you must know about that module name, that in which we are having our methods and functions. So what methods are there in the math module and what methods are there in the statistics module and random module, calendar module. So we will cover these all topics, right? So first, if any module you want to use, so you will simply write import, and within that you will write your module name, which is here math. I hope my screen is visible to you all. Now, if you have imported that math module, you will just execute that. Your math module is here now. Okay, now you want to use some methods and some functions of that module, but you don't know about that. What are the methods are there actually? So, what will you do? You will simply write dir of this math of that module, right? So, when you will execute that, you can see there are some classes and there are some methods name. Okay, whatever you want to use by using this math module, you can use. There are a lot of functions. As you know that math includes lot of functions. We know there are so many formulas by which we can solve our calculations. They all are in this math module. Okay, so there is gamma function, is close, is infinite, log of 10, nan, and sine value, tangent value, sale function, float function. So many methods are there in this math module. Okay, so we are gonna cover about these all things. But now still, I don't know what function or what method is being used for which purpose. Right? We don't know. So what can we do here? By direct this dir method, by this dir function, we just find out that how many methods are included here in this module, right? Okay, fine. But now I want to say that which function or method will used for which purpose. Okay, so for that I will use my help function. So when I will execute that, you can see, we can see that there are a lot of descriptions for every function, right? One example, now your module name is math and the description is, this module provides access to the mathematical functions defined by the C standard, right? Now, which function for which purpose? So here a cos means it will return the arc cosine of x, right? Similarly, a cos h is there, a sine, and a sin h means h is hyperbolic. A tangent h is c. Return the ceiling of x is an integral. Okay. So flow, sine, factorial, so many functions with their description are there in this help function. So by using help function with that module name, you can find out that which method or function will be used for which purpose. Okay. So this was your dir and this was your help function about that module. So whatever module you are importing, so first you want to know about that module, that actually for which purpose we will use this module and how many functions are there and which function will be used for which thing. So we can know about that, right? So now We are done with this dir and help math functions. Now let us use these some functions of these math modules. So let me take you here. I want to say that I will say that math dot c. Okay, so I want to pass a value here. Just see that if we take a value, okay, I will say that I am passing a float value to this same function of this man module, right? So what value it will return to me? It will return to me a integer value. It will give me a output which will be integer. But keep one thing in your mind that it will return you the integer. Which integer it will return? 12.3 lies between two integers, 12 and 13. 12.3 lies between two integers 12 and 13. It will return the integer which is not less than this number, which is not less than by this number. It will return me that integer, right? So here, that's why I got 13 on my screen, right? Now I want to say that I want to find the float. Flow, okay, so flow for the same number, and I'm taking the output now. What I got, similarly 12.3 lies between 12 and 13. It will also give us an integer number, but that integer number will not be greater than by this input. Input was 12.3, right? The integer which we will get on the output screen will not be greater than by this input. So this is your math.flow. Okay. If now you want to find out the math.factorial, okay, you want to find out the factorial of any number. For an example, 5. So you will just use your module name with that dot operator, and after that dot operator, you will write your function name, right? So here I took factorial. So let me execute that, and there it is 1. See guys, after this dot operator, when I'm saying my module name with module name, I'm entering one. I'm typing one dot operator, and after that dot operator, I'm writing my method or function name, right? So this is the process actually. Now I would like to say that I want to take one pi value. We know, I hope we all know what is pi in the mathematics. So that is the value of that is 3.14, right? So if we want to take the value of pi through this math module, so what will you do? You will simply write math.py and you will execute that, and you will get the result on your screen. Similarly, if you want to find out the value of e, that is exponent in the maths, you want to find out the value of this e by using this math module, you will simply write math.e. So when you will execute, you will get the value of this, right? Now let us do a program based on this math. Means how we will use these all results in our program. So for an example, I'll say that I'm taking. I want to find out the area of the circle. Okay, I will say input, enter the number. Now area of circle. Right? What is the area of circle? I hope we all know. So area of circle formula is pi into r raised to power 2. So how I will write pi here? I will not simply write, I will not put the symbol here of that pi, because for that I need the value of that pi, right? So what can I do? I will put the direct value which is 3.14, right? But I don't want to do that. What I can do is I can take my math.py here. So what it will do, it will just took the value of mat.py here and will solve our problem. So here I will say mat.py multiply r and double asterisk 2. Now how I will pronounce it? This is what maths.py multiply r raised to power 2. That is pi r square, right? So I want the result on my screen. So I said area of Okay, so let me execute it. Oh, what happened? Okay, I cannot take space into my identifier name. I cannot. Okay, I'm taking underscore. Yeah. So, hmm. So now this will be fine. Okay, I took my radius 5 and I got the result on my screen. Okay, as simple as that. What I did just, I took my R from the user, means radius. Radius value I took from the user. I said int with input function and I said enter the number. And I got the radius from the user. Then I said I need to find out the area of circle. So how I will? The formula is pi r square. So how I will take the value of pi directly from the program. However, simply if I want to use something from the math module, if I want to use any method or any function of this math module, first I have to import that math module in your program. See, I have already imported in this math module in my program. That's why it didn't raise error that you have not imported your math module, right? I have imported my math module. That's why I am able to access the value of pi through this math module, right? Multiplied by r and double asterisk sign 2. R square means r raised to power 2. Okay. So when I will print the area of circle here, so I will get the result. So mat.pi value, you know very well now that value will be taken from here. Okay, so we will pick the value from here for mat.py and mat.t if it will be required in the program. So definitely it will directly pick up the value. Now we will get the result on our screen similarly like this. So I hope I'm clear with this math module. So similarly, if you want to use some more methods of this math module or okay, so you can. So now next is statistics module in Python. What is statistics module? Statistics Statistics is a very important term where you want to analyze the data, you want something from your data. And what something is it? You want to find out the mean, you want to find out the median from your data, you want to find out the mode of your data. If you want anything from your data, so you what you will do? You will simply import your statistics module. Right? I said that import statistics. Okay, fine. I did. Now I said ST. As ST means what? This is what I'm using alias method. Alias method. Alias is what you can create a shortcut as we do abbreviation. I hope you all know that as we do abbreviation. Similarly, so for statistics, I'm saying as ST, I'm considering this statistics. Okay, now I want to access some methods of this statistics. I will say I want to find out the mean. Okay, but before that, what I need data. Where is it? I have not taken here. Okay, so let me take the data. I said A equals. Now I will pass some value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and this is 10. I've taken some values here in my dictionary. Not in the dictionary, in the set. In curly braces, when I am keeping some comma separated values, this is what this is a set. Okay. Even dictionary is also keeping the value in the curly braces. Okay. But in dictionary, we keep the values as a key value here. But in the set, we will simply put the comma separated values. Okay. Now I will find out the mean. I need to find out the mean of this data. So I said st dot mean. St is your statistics module for alias name of this statistics. Okay, st dot mean, and I want to find out the mean of this data. Which data? This a like mean. So what I got on my screen 5.5. Actually, what is mean? So if you want to take the help on this statistics module also, mean actually is an average. When you when you want to find out the average of that particular data, average formula is sum of all the values divided by number of values. I'm repeating, sum of all the values divided by number of values is your average, or we can say this is the mean. Okay, it is required actually when we want to find out the average height of 30 persons which are in the same age. The, there are 30 persons which are in the same age. We want to find our average height. This is actually required. If I will say that I want to find out the average salary of this colony, maybe there are 15 persons who are working, and we want to find out the average salary they are earning in this colony. Okay, so for that we use our mean method. Right now I want some help, means I want to see how many methods are available under this statistics module. So you can see here, right? So averages, variance, standard deviation. So this model provides functions for calculating statistics of data, including averages, variances, and standard deviation. So variance is what? Variance is like what is the difference from your input, yani कि from your first value to the mean. Variance is your difference between the first value to the mean. Okay, so by this we will find out the variance now. So arithmetic mean is what? It's a arithmetic mean, or you can also say average. Then f mean means fast floating point arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean, median, median low, median high, median group, mode, multi-mode, quantiles. Very important point, quantiles. Okay, so many things are there under this statistics module. You can take your data and you can use the functions or methods of this particular module. So now let me see. Let me take one more thing, that is what median. Okay, so median, and on the same data I am using this median. So what I got, still we got the median. Median actually it's the middle number of the data. When the range or the data is in the odd number. When the number of your values is odd, at that time the median will be the middle number. For an example, let me increase the data in this, and now let me find out the median. So what did we get? We get the 6. Okay, we got the middle number of this data. Okay, mean is also same, but it's not always, it will not be always same. Why? Because mean is just to find out the average. Now number is in the series, that's why we are getting mean and median same, but it won't be every time. Okay, now st dot mode. What is mode? Mode is the most frequent value in your data. So let me change the data first, otherwise we will simply get the one means we want get the proper result. So let me take one more data. I will say dan b 1.2. Yeah, so now if I want to find out the mode of this data, instead of mode, it is not picking. So let me change it. It's 1 is 2, 2 is 2 times, 3 is 4 times. Yeah, let me restart my kernel because it is not displaying the accurate result. And now I will execute this again. It's B. Name ST is not defined because I restarted my kernel. That's why it is not picking this statistics module. So now let me execute it. Still, it's giving 1. Okay, let me change. Let me change the data type. So now it is a list. Yeah. So now it returned. So actually, what is happening? Let me tell you. See what happening here. That when you are using the dictionary, sorry, the set, which was in curly braces. I was using curly braces, so set is what? It just changed the order. Let me show you. In curly braces, it's here 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 4, 3. Okay, and when I will execute this, you can see whatever order I have given here in this set. changed it. It simply changed it, means set is an unordered set. In which order you give the values, it won't take it like that. It will change the order. Second thing, set avoids duplicacy. That's why we were not getting the result. Because what it was doing before, it was removing the duplicacy and we were getting the first value which was appearing in the set. So here when we check, there 3 is 2 time and 4 is also 2 times. But when I executed this set, I got this only once. All the values are only once, and before this set which was given any order we specified for any number, it just changed the order. Okay, so set is an unordered. Okay, so that's why I changed the data type. I took all the comma separated values into the set list. Okay, when I executed it, I got the value 3. So actually what is mode? Mode is the most frequent value. Most frequent value which is having the highest frequency, means appearing more than others. So here we can see that 1 is appearing 2 times, 2 is appearing also 2 times, but 3 is here which is appearing 4 times. So that's why mode of this list of this data is 3, because 3 is appearing more than others, right? So this was your mean, median and mode about your statistic module. Okay, so now let's move towards our random module. So here let me talk about the random module. Random module means you want any number by chance. If you want any number by chance, for an example, I will say that when we play dice, means when we play Ludo, right? So what happened there? We will just throw the die and we will get different numbers. Sometimes we get same number, but it's not always. We get different number, and this is random case, right? And if I say that when you try to join any website or you are even creating your own account, at that time one image is there to check you are not robot, or some captcha is there to type, and when you are not able to write the particular captcha which is on the screen, so when you will refresh the screen, so it will change automatically. So any time you will refresh the screen, you will get the different captcha. So this is what by default random module is working behind that. Okay, so any number, if you want anything by chance, so you will use your random module. Okay, so there are some examples for random. This is what pseudo random numbers on lottery scratch cards. Recaptcha, like in login forms, uses a random number generator to define which image to be shown to the user. Right. Next, computer games involving throwing a dice, picking a number, or flipping a coin. Yeah, even you will, if you will flip the coin, so it's not sure that when you will get head and when you will get tail, right? So it is random. Then shuffling deck on playing cards. So these all are example of random number generator. So now to use random function, so what will you do? Before that you will use, or you will import your random module, right? So after importing your random module, so first task is here to check your random module, right? How many methods are available there and for which purpose. Okay, so we can see here, so random is what? Random is a random variable generator. It can generate a integer number also, and it can also generate a float number, right? So you can see that integers uniform within range, we can use a uniform function here. Sequences, pick random element, means if we are giving some characters, some strings, from that it will also pick up the random element. Distribution of the real line, like uniform, triangular, normal, gamma, beta, for that we also use random. Distributions on the circle. So many things are here, so you can check out all of these, right? Now now let's start and let's have a look on our random module. So first is a rand range with what it will do. So before that, before rand range, let us do random dot random. Okay, and when we will execute that, we will get a range. We will get a number, not range. We will get a number, but that number will be from a range, and that range is 0 comma 1. Means it includes 0, but it won't include a number 1 here, because random module, first of all, it will generate a float number. Okay, random module. By using random module, I'm using my random function. It will generate a float number, right? And that will be in this range, means 0 to 1. That your starting number will be 0, and here 0 is included, but 1 is not included. Because when 1 will be included there, that will be an integer, and random module will just give us a float number. So less than, not includes 1. Okay. So whenever you will execute this code, whenever you will execute this code, you will get a different number. Before it was 0 0.9 something, now it is 0.62, right? Let me execute it again, I got 0.20. Let me execute it again, I got 0.81. So now I hope now we all are clear with this random. Now let's talk about random rand range. Okay, and I'm giving 0 to 13. Okay, so rand range is used to generate an integer number. Rand range function is used to generate the this integer number. And what is range actually? What range is doing here? Range is like it will include first number, but it will not include this last number. Up to means when we are having this last number, it will go up to n minus one only. N minus 1 means n is here 13. Okay, means last number, I must say here last number last number is 13 here, so last number minus 1 will be 12. Means 0 to 12 number will be included in this rand range, but not 13. Okay, so range is actually is that it won't include the last number, means last number minus 1 means it is 12 here. So let me execute it again and again, so you can see. Let me copy that code. Here you can see that before I was getting 6, now I got 1. Let me execute it again, I got 10. Let me execute it again, I got 9. I'm not getting the same number, but it is not that I won't get the same number. I can, but it won't include 13. It will include up to 12. I got 10, I got 5, I got 6 again, I got 9 again. 0 I also got. I told you that first number will be included, right? Now I got 4, I got 8, I got 6, but I'm not still getting 12. But it's okay. Yeah, finally I got 12. But I won't get that 13 because 13 will not be included in the range range. So I hope that range range is clear to you all now. So let's move towards next one. This is random. I think random is clear. Random it's done. Rand range will give you an integer number, but random will give you float number which will be in the range 0 to 1, where 1 is excluded, which is not included in that range, right? Now rand int. Rand int. Okay, so random dot rand int. Okay, so now rand int. Let me take one more. I said 12 to 13. Okay, it will include these both labels. Before rand range, which was not included complete range, it was keeping the last value minus 1. We still 12 we were getting the result. But here, if we want integer number, but we want to include these both range, means 2 comma 13 should be there. So what I will do, I will simply use my rand int. Okay, so when I will execute that, I got 13. So let me copy this and let us execute it again. Now I got 2. Let's check it. I got 4. I got 9. I got 11. I got 5, 7, 4, 10, 6, 13. You can see that 13 is also included here. Till now I didn't get 2, but yeah, Definitely, yeah, I got two here. Okay, so yeah, lower limit is also included, and here in the last, we got that 13 is also included in this range, right? So I hope I'm clear with you all that what is range where both the limits are included, and we want integer number as an output. So we will use range. But if you don't want to use to include the last limit, so we will use our rand range function of this random module, right? So this was your random, and okay. So many we are having more. So let us see that. Okay, random is done. Now this method uniform function is also here. Will return any floating point number. Now uniform. So random not uniform, and now still it will take one range. I will say 2 to 7. Okay, it is saying that it will give us a floating point number, but it will not include the last range. What is here? It is 7. It won't include the upper limit into the result. Let us execute that. Now you can see that we got a float number, means it is including the lower limit, but it won't include the upper limit. Means upper limit is excluded. Means 7. 7 is excluded. Left part of the 7 means any decimal number, any float number. 6.999 is also included, but not 7. So let me execute this again and again, and you will see that they will get a float number, but not 7. Okay, so this is your uniform, right? Now choice is what, when you want to select something from a sequence, like for example I say that it's hello, I have taken a sequence, or either you want to take one more sequence like 1 2 3 4. Okay, so let me say that random dot choice, and choice from where you want to, I said it's D. Okay, so here is your sequence. So let me see what I got. I got a random. I got a random result from this sequence, right? So I got this 4. So let me execute it again, and let me check what I will take now. I got again O. Okay. So now I got H. Okay. So now I got L, and now I got O again. O L. So yeah, so we got O H L O O O. So these are what means. To what I want to specify. I want to specify a sequence, and from that sequence, I want result. I want to pick the any random number. Okay, any random string or any random character. So let me take one E now. Means now I want to take the list. So before D was a string, now I want to take this list, and you can see that you have taken 4 numbers only. That was here. It was 1 2 3 4. Okay, this was your list. I hope I'm clear, and you all are remember that this was a string, and this was your list, right? So here, when I executed this choice function with this E, means with this list. So let me execute this again. So here, random dot choice E. It's now we got 3, and now we got again 4. It's 3, it's 1, it's 4, it's 1, and I'm not getting 2. Yeah, finally we got 2 words. Yes, so it includes every number, whatever is there in the list or dictionary, oh sorry, not dictionary, I didn't say, or tuple. So it will randomly choose anything from that particular sequence. Okay, so that was your sequence. Now shuffle. Shuffle is what this method can shuffle the items of a given list. Like for example, I want to shuffle the elements. One example is there. Let me see. Random dot shuffle. Okay, I will pass this E. Okay, let me take the result here. Not D. Let me see. It's H. Okay, and now I will like to execute that. H, and now I will see my E. Yeah. So can you see that before E was 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Now I want to shuffle the values of that particular sequence. So what can I do? I can use my shuffle function of that random module, right? So let me execute it again, and E also. Let me do it again. It's not changing, but it did. Yeah, so we got 3, 2, 4, 1, right? Let me do it again. Now it's 2, 3, 1, 4. Okay, so it's changing. How we were doing that? By using this shuffle method. Okay, so I hope I'm clear with you all here. So now the calendar module. So calendar module is when we want to find out the year or month or day. So here in this, so what I did, I just imported my calendar, and from calendar I want to import everything. Means I want to use everything. Before, what were we doing? What were we doing, guys? We were just we import our module, and then we said random dot function name, random dot function name. We were doing like that, mat dot function name and statistics dot function name, right? We were using our dot operator, because what were we doing? We were simply importing our module by that module name, right? But what else can we do? There is one more technique, that from that module you want to import everything. So what will happen here? No need to use your dot operator with that module name. You will simply use your function name. Means you have imported everything. This star will tell you that you have already imported everything in this. Okay. So let's execute this now. What I want to do? I want a calendar by this calendar module. This calendar is your module name, but this calendar is your function name inside this calendar module. So don't get confused. I will clear you again that this calendar is your module name, right? But this calendar is your function name inside this calendar. So let me show you that thing. One example, I said calendar dot. It must show. Let me type. Sorry, C. I said calendar dot, and when I type C, and after that I press tab, so I got calendar, right? Let me see M and tab. Sometimes this tab won't work. Okay, let it. Sometimes actually it creates a problem. Okay, fine. So what I'm doing, I'm using calendar function of this calendar module. What I want to do, I want calendar of this year. Okay, so let me show you the arguments here. What are the arguments here? Means first you will write the year, then you want to write your width of that calendar, what you want. Okay, then length, then cases that you want Sunday, Monday, Tuesday in that. Okay, then Monday month is 3. Okay, so let us see that M is 3 means you want 3 months in a line. Okay, so when I will execute that, you can see that I said January, February. Okay, I have used 2 here. I have used 2 here, means month is 2. Let me change it. I will say 3. So you can see that January, February, and March are there. This is not actually looking good, but I will let you know how it will look good. It is not look properly here. So for that, what can we do? I will let you know, but later. Okay. So what are we doing? We are simply executing our calendar. So how to take our calendar on the output? So simply by using these arguments, we can get the calendar on our screen. Right. So now, if I want to find out the month that I want to find out that here we will pass the month and the year. Okay, and based on that I pass that width and length of that month. Means what month you are going to display here, the width of and length of that month should be in that range. Okay, so when I will execute that, you can see that you have said that in 2021 I want fifth month is May. Okay, so what we got, I said that width is 9 and length was 2. Okay, length was 2, that's why I got 2 backslash n here. Let me remove this. Okay, and now when I will execute that, you will see this result is in a multi-line string. Everything I'm getting in the multi-line. So you can see here that when you will use your month function, everything you will get in the multi-line until you will define your width and length. You can change according to you. Okay. Similarly, it was with the calendar. You will get the result as multi-line string, but if you want to change it, so you can do that, right? This was for calendar and month. Now you want to check that is year to 2021 is a leap year or not. So you can, under the calendar module, you can check it, right? So I said D is leap 2021. I assign the result to this D. Okay, fine. Let me execute that, and I got the result false. So 2021 is not the leap year, right? So now let me check that is we everyone we know that between 4 years once we get a leap year, right? So let us say that I have passed a range that 2029 to 2023, how many leap days are there? So when I will execute that, obviously one day, only one day increases in the leap year, right? We in 1 year we have 365 days, but in the leap year we have 366 days, right? So when I said I want to find out the leap days in this range, what it will be, definitely I'm passing the 4 years only. So between these 4 years I will get leap, means one extra day only, that is here, which is one. Okay, now I want to find out the month range. So month range, right? I said 2021 comma 5. Let us execute that and see the result. So here, what we get that in the month of May, in 2021, in the month of May, we got 31 days. In the year 2021 month May, we got 31 days. And what this 5 is signifying? This 5 is telling you that here, by default, let me show you here that by default Monday is 0. See, when you will get the result from 0 to 6, means 0 is Monday, then 1 is Tuesday, 2 is Wednesday, 3 is Thursday, 4 is Friday, and 5 is Saturday. Right? So here, 5 is telling you that in the month of May, your week will start from Saturday. Okay, let's have a look. This is your August. It's May, right? And in May, you can see that your first was on Saturday, right? So that's why it told you that 5 means Saturday. First day of that month is Saturday, right? So 0 to 6 means range lies between 0 to 6, which means Monday to Sunday. Okay, now I want to pick out the weekday 2021 year and 8 and 3, right? So what will we get that in third, on 3rd of August 2021, which day it is? If I want to find out the weekday, which day it is in 2021 year and 8 month is 8 means August and day is 3. So we all know today is Tuesday, right? So one is for Tuesday, because 0 is for Monday and 1 is for Tuesday, right? Now, if I say that I want to find out the proper calendar, I need to find out the proper calendar here. What I will do, I will use my PRCAL function. What is it? Proper calendar. When I will execute that, you can see, guys, a proper calendar on your screen, right? Before we were not getting the proper result on our screen, but now we are getting. So, right, this is a proper calendar of 2025. Okay, so now I will say that I want to change the first weekday. It is automatically starting by Saturday. Okay, I want to change it. Let me say I want to change it that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It will 0, 1, 2, 3 means it should be start from minus 2, right? So let me execute it, and again I am executing my proper calendar. So you can see now it started from uh, before it was Saturday, no? 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, it would start from Thursday. So that's why we got Thursday as a is as in the calendar. Before we were watching that Saturday, but now date will be on the same. It was on here in the January. It was first of January. The day was Friday. It won't change. I'm just changing the uh, pattern. Like here in this week is starting from Saturday, right? I want to change that. That week should be start from Thursday. Okay, so it's set first weekday. You just mention your weekday number. For 3, this is Thursday, and that's why we got the result on our screen. And these are your calendar methods. So I hope I'm clear with you all with these all modules and their methods and functions. So similarly, you will simply import your module, and within that, if you will use this statement, so you will not use dot operator. So without using dot operator, just use your function name and you will get the result. Just pass the arguments, whatever you need to pass, just pass that and you will get the result. Similarly, we were doing here when we imported our random module and when we imported our maths module or statistics module here, we didn't mention that from math module import star means import asterisk. It was import everything. So we won't use that dot operator actually, right? But still, if I will say if I'm very much experienced person in this coding, at that time for me that syntax is fine, that from that module import all. Okay, but if I'm new to this coding, for that my this statement is fine with me. Why? Because after dot operator you can simply press tab, and after this tab you will get every method, every function in the drop down menu. So whatever method you want to use, just select that, pass the arguments according to that function, and you will get the result on your screen. So I hope I'm clear with this today's session about the session was about the module, and these all modules uh, in this class, only 3 modules were in the course. It was math, statistics, and calendar. But I have also covered that random module here. Okay, guys. So I hope I am clear with you all. If in any case you have any doubt, you can freely ask. Otherwise, class is over for today. Thank you. Guys, please hold. Please don't leave. I need to mention one thing here. That was your you when you are enrolling your attendance. Please change your name. Let me tell you. Give me a minute, please. Yeah, please. You need to rename roll number and name. Let me drop in the chat box. It's there. you need to enroll like this. It's MEB 1933 SIVA. Okay, so like that you need to do. It's MEB 1933 SIVA space A, like this. So please, I'm requesting you all guys, please have a look on that you need to rename your roll number and name. So this is the pattern, like this you will mention there. I hope I'm clear with you all. Please, if you are in contact with other persons who are taking this class, please drop this message there also. Okay, thank you.